Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. If you're new here, I'm Ophelia, and from the title guys you can see that I'm coming to you with I'm not even sure I should be calling it a story time, but I'm coming to you with a story of how I was kidnapped. Now, this is a story I've been struggling with whether or not I wanted to share it. Was encouraged by my mother to go ahead and share the story with you, and also a friend of mine, Simone, who said record it, and if after you record it you don't feel like sharing it, then don't post it. So that's what I'm doing guys. So I decided to share the video because, well, it fits perfectly into my faith series, and this story is really a story of expressing my faith, how my faith got me through my kidnapping. So guys, let's get into it. So guys, don't mind the nerves because I'm really coming to you real and raw on this one. So the story started with a day I was heading to work. So I was on the 6:30 shift at work. I was really enjoying that shift because I went to work for 6:30. By 3:30 thereabouts I would be home, have the rest of the evening to myself. I lived very close to work, so you know, normally I would leave at like 6 o'clock in the morning to get to work for 6:30, 6:15 thereabouts if I'm running late. So this particular morning, it was close to the Easter break, and this particular morning I was going out to work. I would normally have company to the bus stop, but this morning I didn't. When I got to the bus stop, the JUTC that I would normally take in most cases was coming up the road, but it was in the middle lane, so she could not stop. Next thing with this is that on this route that I would normally take to work, it's mostly white plate taxis. I'm not saying because it's mostly white plate taxis why this happened, but it was a contribution, and maybe also my bad judgment of the vehicle, but yeah, I won't blame myself. So yes guys, so standing at the bus stop, it was about 6:15. I was late this morning. That is why one reason too I could not wait on the company. I was late this morning, and when I measured walking to work I would be even worse late, and you don't want to leave for work. Me, first of all, I'm not the tardy person, so I didn't want to be late. So I was there on my phone checking the time, saying to see how long it would take me, because the drive up from my house would be probably about 10 minutes. So I was there and I needed to get a taxi in the next 5 minutes in order for me to get to work, and a car stopped. This car seemed like one of those regular taxis I would take in the morning if I didn't take the JUTC. So I went into the taxi. And well, first of all, before going in, he was the driver, and let's call him a young man for now, on the front seat. So when I went into the taxi, the back windows, as soon as the car moved off, the back windows went up. So I was looking at the doors now to, you know, wind down the window. I realized that there is no handle, there's no lock. The door handle was broken. By the time I look over to the other side and see that the other side was also broken, the young man, who will now continue to call the guy, at the front seat jumped to the back. I was sitting in the middle and he jumped on the right, to my right, and he hooked his hand around my neck like this, pulling me towards him. So when he pulled me towards him now, you know, normal reaction, I started to fight. And I started to feel to see if I could pull, because you know when they pull, they break the handle from the door. You can feel the little iron inside that you can pull out to pull the door. So I started to fight him to pull it. In fighting to pull that, he started to hit me in my face. And then the next thing I know, I was being sprayed with pepper spray. So yeah, sprayed with pepper spray, and saying all manners of explicit towards me. So in that moment now I realized that I wasn't able to jump out. He wasn't going to allow me to jump out. So I started to pray and I was like, God, let this not be my story. God, I don't want this to be my story. I don't want this to be the way I die. I don't want my parents, I don't want my family to hear that I got missing and find my body somewhere. Lord, this is not my story. So while I started to pray, my spirit, I started to feel a calming spirit. And I said to the guy beside me, please don't kill me. I'll give you what it is you want. So at that point now, he started to laugh at me and saying to the driver, she think me I go kill her, no, she think me I go kill her. So I said, I'll give you what you want. I threw my handbag and my phone to the front seat of the car. So when I did that now, throwing the things over to the front seat, I had a top pocket on my blouse. I had my ID, my pass, and $500 because from which I was going to pay the taxi. That was like the only cash I had on me. I think it was like Wednesday, I was getting paid the Friday, girl was broke. But yeah, started to search my top pocket and I said to him that it's my pass and my work ID in there, I don't have anything, and that's when he left the pocket alone. By this time, guys, wet myself probably about 2-3 times already. Sweating profusely, hair a mess. But the spirit was just on me that, you know, keep calm, cooperate with them, give them what they want. He started to tell me, no, I'm not going to kill you, I'm not going to kill you. I realized by this I was out of the area that I was living and working at the time, and was on another main road heading to God knows where. He started to ask the driver to turn off. Turn off. So I was saying, Lord, this is not it, Lord, this is not it, this is not how I'm going to die, I'm not going to be another statistic, Lord. Because at that time there was a lot of taxi kidnapping and those things happening, people going missing, people coming back with their stories how they were raped. And so he turned off, and when he turned off I heard him say to the driver, let her out here. So the car slowed down, the door opened, and I was pushed out of the vehicle. So now that car drive lasted probably about 5 minutes, but I tell you no, for telling the truth, it feel like longer than that. It feel like I was in that car some 20-30 minutes. I don't know, felt longer. But it was about 5 minutes or so, because I realized the time shortly after when I got to somewhere. So they pushed me out the car. I got up. I was wearing jeans. I didn't really scratch up much. I got up and I was walking towards, because it was off the main, like a turn off. So I was walking out towards the main. Luckily for me, I saw, with my pepper spray eyes, my glasses gone in my handbag. I saw this place open. A lady was like, she was sweeping or something outside of the building. So I was walking towards her. From my memory, I don't even know if this is how it happened, but as far as I remember, the lady had a baton or something in her hand, because she must have been wondering if this is a mad person heading towards her at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was walking towards her, and I realized that she was frantic, like she was wondering what was happening. So I was like, I got kidnapped in a taxi and they let me off around the corner. Can you help me please? They pepper sprayed me. That's when she came out. She gave me some water to wash my face, and she gave me a seat inside. And I tell you, God bless this woman. I always said I would go back to see her. My father even called her after that date to thank her again for how she helped me and everything. So while I sat there, she called the police station, the nearest police station to where I was, and they said that they were sending somebody to come and get me. So in that time now, I decided to make phone calls. I thought about the nearest person to me, which would have been my boyfriend at the time. But funny story is, I always said to him that if I was to win $1 million and I had to call somebody and the first call they would not answer, he would be the person. And so said, so done. You know, there's power in your tongues. And the $1 million, but the first person I called wasn't able to help me. So I called and I didn't get any answer. I didn't want to call my parents first. And at first they weren't in the same parish either, so I wanted somebody closer. So I didn't get him. I didn't know my mother had recently changed her phone number. And you know, with smartphones and all, we stopped learning people's phone numbers, so I didn't know a new number out of my head. So I called my father and I told him, he told her. I've been trying to remember if my mother, I think she was here. She was overseas, but I think she was here. And I called them and I told them what happened, told them that I was heading to the police station. Then my parents called my sister, and guys, my sister and my brother-in-law, who also live in another parish, they got to the police station that I went to, like, I don't even know. I don't know if they flew a jet, if they rode a bike, but the car came, they came so quickly, like speed quickly. So they came to the police station that I was at, and they were also there when I went to the other police station, but that I'll come back to that. Would you guys believe that the next person I called was, next place I called was my workplace to tell them that why I hadn't showed up for work? Now tell me if not I'm not a dedicated employee. With all that was happening, I thought about calling them, so I called in through the switchboard to the contact center where I was also working and asked to be connected to my workforce associate. Explained to her what had happened in the morning and that I wouldn't be in the morning coming and everything, so she could tell my supervisor, my manager, etc. So by then the police showed up. They took me to the nearest police station, which was about less than 10 minutes away. While driving to that station, one of the officers took my statement. And guys, I don't even want to go into this, but the man took my statement, took me to the station, put me to sit down in the waiting area. Then I didn't see the man again. Never see him again. Look like him gone home, shift done, and he gone and I had my statement on the back of the book that him had. Everybody walking past me sitting there with my swollen face and busted lip and everything. Nobody paid me any attention. Till eventually I think it was a sergeant was like, who is assisting that young lady in the waiting area? Everybody, the response is like, oh, we saw her sitting there. Long story short, they said they didn't have a detective at that location, and I was then again placed in another police vehicle and taken to another police station where I gave my statement to a detective. Guys, this I think has indirectly still affects me, because even though I don't think about it that much, I can count how many times I've actually taken public transportation in Kingston since. If I do, it's probably a private taxi, chartered cab. I've only really done road taxis back in my home parish, the taxis that I was familiar with. So even though it's been 3 years ago, it's still kind of fresh in my head. You know, I get me on my white plates. Honestly, it's a chartered cab. So during all of this, I did not know that for that month, my mother was doing a 30 days prayer for her daughters. I didn't know this. And all of this just taught me that in life, we all have a purpose, and we all have, even God would have brought me through that situation because my purpose is not yet fulfilled. There's still something here for me to do. This might be one of it, to share my story with other persons who might have experienced something similar but haven't shared it because they don't think there's anybody else out there who has experienced it or would be able to speak to about it. Yeah, basically So my faith in that situation allowed me to relax my mind and to trust God. It allowed me to relax, to know that He would pull me through because He wasn't finished with me yet. My story is still being written daily, and my purpose is being fulfilled or is to be fulfilled. Yes. So guys, after all of that happened, I think that evening I didn't go back. Would have had work the next day. I didn't go to work the Thursday, and the Friday would have been a holiday. I didn't go to home either, to my parish that I'm from. I actually went to another parish for the weekend to get away from Kingston, to get away from the spots, the bus stop, everything that happened. The Sunday after that though, I went to church. I literally just cried out everything at the altar to give God thanks for what He did, how He saved me, and to renew my commitment to Him. I went back to work the Tuesday because the Monday was also a holiday. And guys, I poured out in tears. As I sat at my desk, I just started to cry. Cry. And two of my co-workers then really helped me. Because my manager said I could go back home. My Lori called me a taxi, a chartered taxi with a company that I trusted. She stayed on the phone with me the entire journey home till I got inside the house, until she heard one of my housemates' voice to know that I was inside and everything. Samantha as well checked on me throughout the day to make sure I was fine. I got a lot of support from friends and family, which helped me through that time. Since then, there's been days that is actually after the anniversary of the day that I remember that it happened. I really don't think about it much anymore, but I thought about it a lot lately, in the last 2 weeks or so, as I've been thinking about sharing this video. So guys, yeah, I know my son teary and everything. It's a very emotional thing to recall and to share. But I do hope that this will bring some renewal of faith to somebody else out there who is listening to this video. To know that each day that you wake up, each day that you go on the road and you get back home safely, it's God that is carrying you through, and His purpose for you is not yet fulfilled. That's it for my testimony. I won't be calling it a story time. Testimony of how my faith and prayer got me through a kidnapping attempt. I'll call it a kidnapping attempt for now. Well, yeah. Guys, let me know in the comment section if you have ever experienced anything like this and how you dealt with it. If you know anybody who has experienced it and how they dealt with it as well. Looking to read those. And that's it for now, guys. Until next time, guys. Bye.